Just talk about the first fight for you in the house.
The fight with Coper?
Yeah.
I knew Coper was a wrestler. I didn't know he was a D1 wrestler. I knew he was a wrestler. That's all I really knew. Before I went to the house or to the first fight, I didn't really even look anyone up because I'm not one to believe in hype. Like people say, oh, this guy's trying out, this guy's trying out. All I heard was talk about Krause and Dakota Cochran and I think John Tuck too. And then look what happens. None of those guys even made it in the house. So I was kind of like, the way I see it is basically it's an MMA fight. Anything can happen, man. And basically that's what happened. So, I was going up against Coper and we were actually going to pick that fight. For the longest time, I think I was planning to fight fourth. So, after Vic fought, Lawrence fought, Jury fought, and then the plan was for me to fight Proctor next. But Jury ended up losing the fight, so that kind of put a damp in the plans. And then, every fight, basically Dom was like, okay, you're next, you and Proctor. And then Proctor ends up fighting Vic. So I'm like, great, he took my guy. What am I going to do? He took my bullshit. I was talking some shit to Tickle for that. And then, so then he's like, well, you don't have Proctor. He's like, so, we'll give you Coper next. He's probably the next toughest dude. So I'm like, okay, cool. We ended up losing that fight. And then I'm like, great, I'm not going to fight again,
Yeah.
And then Faber calls up Cofer, and then he calls at me, and I'm like, oh shit, what do you know? I got my wish.
Yeah, so, funny how that worked out, for sure.
Yeah. So, fighting Cofer, I was expecting him to just take me down, honestly, just kind of lay on me and try to get me pregnant or something lame what wrestlers do,
Nice.
So, the whole plan was avoid the takedown, throw bombs, avoid the takedown. And, the first round, man, he was socking me up pretty good, that son of a bitch. He landed some good shots. It was basically just, I was just sticking to the game plan in the first round, which was, circle away from power, throw my right hand, and basically just look for a good connection. And it started not working, and Coper rocked me a couple times in that first round. And he hit me with the overhand left one time. And just he hit me good right in the eye, and I that good. I think it was maybe a good 2 minutes of the first round. I couldn't really see. I was kind of seeing double because he hit me so good. So I was kind of just swinging at all three of them,
Right.
Trying to get him from taking advantage of me because I don't think he for sure didn't realize that my vision was messed up like that. But, and then the second round, I started after that, I kind of just started throwing. And then the second round, Dominic's like, you know what, just go out there, and do the damn thing. Just go out there and fight. He's like, the game plan's not really working. He's not shooting like we thought he was, so just go out there and fight. So the second round, I basically went out there and just started throwing. I started throwing more uppercuts because I started realizing he was putting his head down and stuff. So, I was throwing more uppercuts. He got me pretty good in the beginning of the round too. He hit me with a right. I think he hit me with a right, and I almost went down to a knee. Just caught myself back up, and stayed in the fight. The whole time it was crazy too, because what was irritating me was I was expecting him to shoot on me, so he'd throw a combo, and then it's like, I sit there and wait for a shot. Throw a combo, I sit there and wait for a shot, so eventually I'm like, fuck taking these shots, I'm just gonna start throwing, let him take me down, So I start going, he tries to take me down, I stopped him, and then I end up taking him down, and then we ended up in that weird position, where I was it was like a reverse mount. I wanted to get out of there, but then again, I was like, fucking, I'm on top, let's just throw punches. The round ended. Dom, Eric told me, get ready for a third round, we think this is going to a third. Dana came in, it's going to a third. I was like, right on. I was feeling good. Dominic's telling me what he's telling me, and then at the end, he's like, you know what, fuck it, just go out there and street fight, just go out there and brawl this kid, that's what you're good at, just go out there and brawl.
Right.
Like, I just went out there swinging. I heard Dominic say takedown. I went for a leg. I took him down, and that was basically it. I knew he wasn't going to be as good as me on the ground, so just basically took him out, gave me the arm triangle, and I took it. Got the submission out of him. Super pumped. It was a good victory. That one felt the best out of all my wins. For one, I got hit in that fight more than I had my whole damn career.
Right.
And second, when we get into a battle like that, where it's a war and it's kind of like a true test of yourself, and that was honestly the most satisfying win I've had, out of all my wins, even though it doesn't count, but, it still counts to me, and I feel good about it.
Hey, man, and just talk about your fight with Chris.
Saunders.
Yeah.
Right. I knew Saunders was a good striker. So, and he has, like, that dude has hard kicks. Like, he's honestly the hardest kicker I've come across. And we knew that, coming into that fight that he was basically, that was going to be his weapon, kicks. Like, I'm sure he's a little more technical than me, as far as the technique. He's got a little more technique than I do. His kicks are super dangerous. He sets them up well. But, basically my plan was to just kind of bully him and have him walking backwards so he can't throw those kicks, make sure he can't throw those kicks and kind of get comfortable with his range and with his striking, because once you let a good striker get comfortable, I mean, it's all over from there, man. You just give them more confidence and they're just going to start throwing more and kind of picking you apart. So I basically just kind of bullied him, and, the plan was to try to take him down too, and plan was to take him down and, just pound him out, but Saunders is a tough dude to take down, man. I had, it's rare that I get a hold of someone, I have my hands locked, and, I take them down and they get right back up. Usually when I get someone down, that's it, man, it's over, but he was super hard to take down, super hard to keep down. So eventually I just kind of started bullying him against the cage, just stand up, just dirty boxing him, and, I landed a lot of good knees on Saunders. I could tell they were hurting him. I knocked the wind out of him a few times. He hit me good too. He got me good with a knee, I think, one time. That's what made my nose bleed. And then, I kind of thought that me and Saunders were going to go to a third too. But then, after they said the decision was over, I knew it was mine. There was no way that he could have won that fight, especially the way that I was kind of coming after him. So, that was a good fight too. Saunders is a tough dude, and you know what? We were practicing a combo. Me and Eric Delfier were practicing a combo, like a fake hook right hand, kind of like a skipping in hook, fake hook with the right hand. And, I was hitting mitts with Eric, and Eric basically told me, he's like, if you hit this guy with this and he doesn't go down, he's like, you owe him a drink.
Nice.
So, I landed the combo on Saunders, and he's like, I know I rocked him, he's kind of standing there, and I threw a knee, I kneed him too, and, I hit him a couple more times, and the dude was still standing, like, tough ass dude. I can't believe he stood up, it's pretty amazing when you hit someone and they don't go down. Like, that shit's super discouraging, it's like, fuck man, what I gotta do to kick this guy out?
Right.
He's an imbecile. So, I got the win off that one. That was good. Saunders is a cool dude. I was actually going to get matched to fight Saunders before, the Ultimate Fighter. Cause, I was going to fight this dude, what's his name? I can't remember his name. I was supposed to fight this other guy, and Saunders beat him. So what happened is the guy that I was supposed to fight got hurt. I ended up fighting David Gardner. And then the matchmaker's like, hey, I got this guy, Chris Saunders. I fought your boy that beat him. Mark Morales, that's his name. So he goes, this guy beat Mark Morales, so you want to fight him? I'm like, yeah, sure, fuck it, I'll take a step ahead. It's no biggie.
Right.
I told Saunders that, I was talking about that, and like we just kind of laughed about it. It was pretty funny because we're from like the same area. He lives in Long Beach. I'm in Sherman Oaks, pretty close to each other. But yeah, that Saunders fight, that was a tough fight, man. Like I came out of there pretty hurt. My leg was messed up, and he got a couple kicks off, and they fucked my leg up pretty good, man. I'm still kind of hurting from it a little bit, but I'm doing better.
Hey, man, and what did you guys do in the house to kill time?
Shit, man, there's really nothing you can do in the house to kill time. I mean, we had a pool table, we had a shuffleboard table. We played that for a little bit, Mainly we just kind of hung out, we sat in the spa a lot, went swimming a few times. Eventually we got a volleyball net, so we played a couple of games of volleyball. We got them to give us like a little cornhole setup, so we were playing that. Basically just sleep, I drank a couple nights, a lot of guys drank. And, basically I think everyone drank, at least once in the house. Or not everyone, just a few people drank in the house just to, relieve some tension and kind of let loose a little bit. But, I mean, there's really not much to do, we don't have any contact with anyone, and I don't know, it kind of sucks in there sometimes, like it's a cool experience, but it sucks being in there sometimes because you're kind of trapped, you don't really have anything to do.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so just talk about your next fight.
Alright, fight with Al. I knew Al was like a striker, like I know he wrestled, But his main thing is he likes to stand up and strike. So I was expecting a nice, good, stand-up game with him, and coming out and, Al's a pretty good striker. He's really technical, and he's a pretty good boxer. Beginning of the first round, we're doing pretty good. We start throwing. He threw a leg kick, and I was going to lift my leg to check it, but he got the kick off, and he kicked me right where my leg was messed up with Saunders, man. So it just started throbbing bad.
Sure.
And then, I'm dealing with that the whole time, and, he was landing some good shots on me. I was landing good shots on him. I honestly think that me and him should have went to a third round. But you know what, whatever. It happened for a reason. Things happen that way. It sucks, but I'll get revenge on him later. But, I was a tough dude. He landed a couple good shots on me. I landed some good shots on him. We were both pretty banged up after that fight. I actually think that he got the worst of it though, because the next day after that fight, he was in worse condition than I was. He could barely walk around. His face was still swollen. Where I was hurting, but I wasn't as bad a condition as he was. So I was kind of like, oh, have fun next week on your fight, sucker, against Chiesa.
Right.
And, I was a tough dude. They gave it to him. He beat me, that sucks. It really pisses me off. And when I watch it, it kind of sucks having to relive that loss, but whatever, it is what it is. And a loss only makes me stronger, it's not going to discourage me. You can't win them all. But, I was a tough dude. I definitely want to fight him again. I want to get my revenge on him. But that fight didn't really end up like I thought it was. He shot in a couple times. He took me down a couple times during the first round. He didn't really do too much. But, he did take me down. So, I gave that first round to him. The second round, that's why I think that I was doing a lot of good striking that second round. I definitely hit him with the better shots. And then, he just landed a lot of those leg kicks on me. I basically couldn't even lift my leg up to check anymore. I started throwing my leg because it was pissing me off so bad because it hurt. So I just started throwing it, just mad at it, stop being a bitch, leg. But, that was a tough fight, I was a tough dude. He did good. He did what he had to do, Honestly, if I was in his position and I threw a leg kick and I saw him hopping around, I would attack the shit out of him. I would throw nothing but leg kicks. I don't even care. I would hurt myself just to hurt him more.
Right.
But it was a good fight, man. Super tough fight.